Now, page 4, exacting political revenge on the 45th President of the United States. Why are the Democrats attempting to impeach Donald Trump when they know that the odds of it being successful, that is, the removal of the president, are against that ever occurring? Why are they doing this? Is it strictly a strategic political maneuver? Is it solely an effort to politically mortally wound President Trump so severely that the Democrats win landslide victories in the 2020 election? Or is there something else? Is there a political and historic subplot that is bubbling beneath this partisan spectacle unfolding in the House of Representatives? How about revenge? Nancy Pelosi, Jerry Nadler, and Maxine Waters, just to name a few, were all there in Congress in 1998 during the impeachment of Bill Clinton. And let's face it, in politics, like family matters, there are long memories. Somewhere in the dark recesses of Pelosi's Botox-laden skull, there exists some modicum of political vengeance. Same for Nadler, for sure. And certainly for Maxwat, who was calling for the impeachment of President Trump before the First Lady had a chance to change out the furniture in the Oval Office. But for the entire Democrat Party, there is also an historical score to settle here. In 1868, the impeachment of Andrew Johnson, also a Democrat, by the way, who barely survived the trial in the Senate. Johnson deserved impeachment, yet the Democrat Party stood by this bigot just like they stood by the perjurer Bill Clinton. They're all political family, after all, aren't they? And some families never forget, which is why the impeachment process of Donald Trump probably also includes a vein of political revenge. And then there are the total political and historical lightweights in the House Democrat caucus who go on television and make buffoons of themselves, like Lori Trahan, constitutional Airhead, Massachusetts.
And as I, read that report from the Intelligence Committee,
Stop
it just
tape.
became so clear.
I have a question for you, Lori. Did you read the report, the minority report from the Intel Committee? Did you happen to take the time to parse through that at all? Because it laid out the case that there was no case built against the President of the United States. So you read Adam Schiff's report, which, by the way, was certainly written well before the hearings ever began. They just filled in the blanks. They've been waiting. The Democrats have been waiting for this moment for 2.5, 3 years to pounce, throwing mud at the walls of the White House, hoping that some of it would stick, and finally they think they got something to stick, so it was pre-written. They just filled in the blanks, they filled in the details, and then handed it off to people like you, Lori, so you could, quote, read it. Well, you're not really reading it, are you? You're just smiling and you're saying, oh, good. Now they laid out the case for impeachment because you're in one of those states, in one of those districts that's safe. So you can vote, Lori, in favor of impeachment. Did you read the minority report? Did you even take time to open up and look at what Devin Nunes and company laid out for the American people as an argument against what you people are trying to do in the House of Representatives? And speaking of reading, did you take time by any chance to read the Constitution itself, in Article 1, Section 2, and the other references to impeachment in the United States Constitution? Did you happen to take time to study the Constitution, and along with it, possibly, the Federalist Papers that were making arguments for and against even having an impeachment clause in the United States Constitution? And why Alexander Hamilton was so fearful of people like you, Lori, who are politically weaponizing impeachment so they could exact revenge on their political opponent? That Alexander Hamilton warned us about people like you and Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff and Jerry Nadler, that this day would come, quite possibly, that there would be an impeachment of a sitting president of the United States based solely on one party being in power in the House of Representatives? Alexander Hamilton called this. We are living what Hamilton wrote about in Federalist 65. Have you read any of that? Have you read any of the Federalist Papers? Have you read the Declaration of Independence? Do you even know what's in the Declaration of Independence? Have you read the Magna Carta, which is the foundation for what we're doing in this republic? It's the foundation for due process. Speaking of which, you haven't given the accused, that would be the 45th president, any due process rights. Early on into the formation of this country, within about 10, 15 years of our Declaration of Independence, the Senate debated its first impeachment. It wasn't an impeachment of a president. It was an impeachment of one of their own, a sitting United States senator. And they debated many things, including whether the Sixth Amendment. Do you even know what the Sixth Amendment is, Lori? Have you read the Sixth Amendment that allows for the accused in this country, again borrowed from parts of the Magna Carta, that allows the accused in this country to confront the accuser? So the Senate, way back then, before there was even an impeachment of a sitting president, before Andrew Johnson, well before Andrew Johnson, they debated whether there should be Sixth Amendment rights pertaining to impeachment. And they also wanted to know whether they should include a jury of his peers, of the person being impeached at the time. They decided no, not to have a jury of his peers, but they always included, of course, the notion, the basic fundamental notion of the due process in this country, that the accused would have Sixth Amendment rights, that the accused would have the ability, through counsel or directly, to confront his accuser. And the House of Representatives has denied the 45th president that fundamental Sixth Amendment right. And Adam Schiff and Jerry Nadler can go on national TV and they can say, and they can lie to the American people, and they can say, well, we opened this up to the President's counsel. We opened this up to the White House and they didn't want to participate. That is a lie. They predicated any participation from the White House on releasing documents and forcing Article II branch employees to testify before them. And that would be a violation of the separation of powers in the United States Constitution. So they did not offer the White House, for the record, this ability to defend the President of the United States. Let the record show and let history show. Something that maybe you can read late at night in your Massachusetts district, Lori. So this lady knows not what she's discussing. She's a talking head, simply regurgitating the talking points given to her by Nancy Pelosi. And it's doubtful that Congress people like this have ever read, and if she has, it's doubtful that she can even comprehend them, the Federalist Papers, let alone the United States Constitution.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.